fan, are you?
Well, 343, all I gotta say is,
That's the way you do it, yeah!
I present you with 200 golden bananas and the Colonial Cross for your acts of daring and devotion. Your work here today has made the Chancellor a very happy man. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 appearances at E3, years of blue balls, far too many speculation videos from ya boy, we have finally gotten a chance to play the first new Halo shooter in 5 years. Here we go. All right, boys. Yeah, what up?
Oh,
What up?
the Ackman?
Yeah, it's your boy.
Holy shit!
The Halo Insider flight is finished.
No, I think we're just getting started.
But here's a scalding hot take. Halo Infinite has the potential to be the best Halo game ever made.
This is the true face of heresy. This heretic, and those who follow him, must be silenced.
I know what you're thinking. Halo 3. Come on. And trust me, I understand how compelling your points are. What stood out to me the most during my time playing Infinite is how 343 Industries is fixing issues that have been in the franchise's DNA since birth. They're not just putting a new spin on an old recipe. They're addressing every major complaint we've bitched and moaned about for the last 11 plus years. Armor customization, art style, weapons sandbox, map design, sprint, everything is getting a complete overhaul. So to get the biggest and most important statement out of the way, this feels like Halo. It looks like Halo, it sounds like Halo, it even smells like Halo, but it tastes like beef jerky. It's no easy feat to cater to this community that is notoriously divided in its appreciation for the games. For too long there's been the split of, oh, you're a Bungie fanboy? Well, you're a 343 tard. And it's like, now you can all shut up, because we're getting the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Now here's the part where I say, this is not a beta, not an alpha, but a tech preview. Don't get your jimmies all rustled around about the little stuff in this tech preview. Reload animations, fruit physics, graphics. If you're complaining about this type of stuff, you have missed out. You have missed the entire point. The gravity hammer doesn't have a clear shockwave. I don't really care. It's not that important right now. What is important is mechanics. How does the game play? How does it feel? Is it satisfying, fun, engaging? Now this tech preview is being used mostly as a way for 343 to get a direction of what needs to be changed, fixed, improved, based on our feedback and the data, right? So here is my feedback. Truth be told, the terminology and the way they released this tech preview likely confused a lot of people, which is understandable, but 343 is being super transparent and as clear as possible about their goals and the state of the game, and I respect that openness. One thing I found really funny was when they were revealing the multiplayer, Sketch made sure to say,
just to give people a sense of this is the game as it currently stands in this build, running on an Xbox One. So
this is gameplay on Xbox One. Yes, you heard that right, last gen hardware. And it got me thinking, like, there was another game from a really big company that was supposed to show the game on last gen hardware, but they didn't for some reason, and there was like a huge controversy. I don't know if it was a fever dream, but I can't really remember. Of course, in launching the tech preview, there had been a change of plans. It was stressful waiting an extra 7 hours to get in, and I may have had a few nervous breakdowns live on stream, but hey, it's all in the past. Performance was pretty good. The only noteworthy bugs were joining in progress made all the audio really quiet except for the Spartan grunts, which was pretty funny.
We've lost a teammate. Taking fire.
To give some perspective, what we played was a 2-month-old build, and 343 still has at least 3.5 months until November. If they want to ship this before Black Friday, that's the time frame. Any major or minor issues have a chance to be fixed, so I'm not going to make a big deal about it. What? Axeman doesn't want to complain about Halo? Didn't see that coming, did ya?
The missions changed. They always do.
I gotta say, it feels amazing to finally be hyped for a new Halo shooter. I've been listening to the soundtracks, just hyping myself up, dude. Halo really is in the process of making a comeback, and this is the type of joy Paper Mario fans wish they could feel. After years of a divisive fan base, it seems like most everyone is rallying around Infinite and noticing the great things about it. Yeah. Oh!
Rocket.
Yeah, buddy. Even if the game launches and you hate everything about it, it is still free to play. For clarity, any clips of me fighting real players will be marked with a PvP sticker up here, so you can kind of get a better sense of what the game is like when you're fighting other real players. Because against bots, it's different. Speaking of, these bots are amazing. Coming in different difficulties, they certainly make for great target practice, both in the firing range and in the multiplayer. And they do some crazy shit from time to time.
Earn more kills than your opponents to win.
Is that how you play Slayer? Earn more kills. Oh my god! What did I run into? Every match I played, we whooped their ass, but just like Sniper Jackals, I'd rather them be too easy than too hard. Ever since I watched that old Ghost of Lockout video for Halo 2, I had faith that one day I could fight AI Spartans.
And see how our faith has been rewarded.
I can't tell you how many matches over the years have been ruined by quitters with no system in place to balance teams out. No matter which game it is, this has pissed a lot of people off over the years. Bots will make teams a bit more even when people do quit and encourage those still in the match to keep playing. And with join in progress, hopefully the spots get filled. No doubt millions of matches will be salvaged because of these two things. But bots also open up endless possibilities for custom games if fans are given the tools to script the bots themselves. Now, what about this supposedly amazing sandbox we've heard so much about? Oh, it's lit. It's lit AF, bro. Every weapon and tool felt great to use, but more importantly, was viable. Apart from the commando, which felt a bit too inaccurate and didn't do enough damage, this is exactly how you make an interesting sandbox. I was getting some disgusting clips with the noob combo. Whoa. Oh, that was dirty. That was so dirty. Gunning down bots with the assault rifle. You got the precise 3-round burst of the battle rifle, the long-range accuracy of the plasma carbine, the super combine of the needler, oppressive power of the rocket launcher. New weapons like the Ravager and Heatwave feel so satisfying when you can use them properly. Halo 4 and 5 had problems with a redundant sandbox where the scatter shot was basically a worse version of the shotgun, and the Heatwave elaborates on that further. It creates a unique type of shotgun rather than just a lesser version of it. Oh, it fires slower that way. Okay, that's very cool. You know, Halo has always been a sandbox shooter. Its greatest strength is in the creativity it gives to players. While Call of Duty may add a grapple hook that is just a gimmick and only usable in the way the developers want you to, if Halo gives you a grapple hook, then you can do whatever the hell you want with it. Oh, you see how you can get the jump on people? Oh, and that's the difference. That's what makes Halo unique and fun. My biggest complaint with Halo's multiplayer, even going back to the original, is the promise of a viable, unique sandbox has always been halfway delivered. For all the weapons Halo 3 has to offer, most matches just dissolve into everyone using the battle rifle. I despise that the BR in Halo 2 is given so much power that you'd rather have it over an actual close quarters weapon most times. Combat Evolved, pistol or nothing. Halo Reach, DMR and needle rifle. Don't get me wrong, I have always loved the Halo games. But when you give one weapon so much power and utility, it overshadows the rest of the sandbox and the game suffers. Where yeah, you have all these unique weapons and stuff, but you're only using a very small selection of them. There's so many weapons in Halo that are either superfluous or only useful in very specific ways. What's different about Infinite and what I love so much about it is how guns that used to be bad have been buffed. I never felt discouraged from trying something new. The Needler has always been inconsistent throughout the series, and it feels really good here. The assault rifle is actually good at mid-range, might need a slight nerf. The Sidekick is a spammable, fast reloading pistol for close to mid-range combat, useful as a fast gun to swap to. Nowhere is this fix to Halo's sandbox more apparent than in the Gravity Hammer, the Energy Sword's overlooked cousin. Historically, it was mostly fun in customs because of the crazy physics, but it was always outclassed by the energy sword, requiring you to be way too close to use it effectively.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
In Infinite, this beast has a huge windup and a massive area of effect. The extended range and slow swing means that it's entirely possible to miss at point blank. Oh boy, you can cancel the grapple hook animation. Bro, that was sick. This is how you differentiate two similar weapons and make them useful in two different ways. The sword has better range and is good against single targets, while the hammer is the opposite now. Ideally, this is how the gravity hammer always should have functioned. Not as a weaker version of the sword, but a competitor. Most plasma weapons have been given a secondary fire like the Ravager's area of effect fire, or the Heatwave's vertical and horizontal firing modes. Being able to vent all plasma weapons is a great touch. It's basically adding the utility of the plasma repeater to every Covenant weapon, creating a new dynamic of when do you vent and when do you not. The sound effects were all very powerful and juicy. Oh, you hear that shield recharge, baby? But the needler should probably be changed to sound more needly. Melee is a bit too powerful, the lunge distance and tracking is really strong. But what about the highly controversial Bloom? Oh boy, we're tackling all the debates in this video. In Infinite, it seems to make the gunplay more complex. Combined with how sprint works, firefights are now more about aiming and pacing your shots than who stopped sprinting first. And I really like it, I think it works well here. So yeah, the weapons kick ass. Now how about equipment? Again, it's a great move to follow up on Halo 3's formula of power-ups, but with the added versatility of picking them up and using them when you want. The observant player can also see what an enemy has at a glance, the blue light of active camo, for example. Oh, do you see that glow? You see that glow? That means I've got active camo. That's a great visual indicator, and you are dead goodbye. And the grapple hook. Ooh, this baby was not undersold. It takes time to build momentum, so it's not an immediate get out of jail free card. Oh shit, whoa. But if you fail to hit something, you can instantly start shooting your weapon, like it's a one frame difference. Already we're seeing people do some pretty crazy stuff with this. I will say the drop wall was a bit underwhelming, it's extremely weak, takes too much time to activate, and has a cooldown on the second charge. I'd say make its deployment faster so it can be used in tight situations, and make it slightly stronger. But yeah, it's loads of fun experimenting, and I can't wait to see what other weapons and equipment 343 has in store for us. But now let's bite into the big kahuna burger.
Big kahuna burger.
Sprint. This comment section's about to get real toxic, so don't mind if I sprint my way out of here. Wouldn't it be funny if the video just ended right there? It's a word that has ignited debates across the internet for over a decade. We knew it was going to be an Infinite, so how did it turn out? Well, this is probably the best version of Sprint we have or ever will see in Halo. But first, why has Sprint been so controversial? Because in most other shooters, nobody gives a shit. Well, it comes from how Sprint affects the weapon balance, map design, and firefights. If players are moving way faster, the guns have to be more accurate. The maps need to be stretched out, and the entire multiplayer has to work around Sprint, because it's something there that the game didn't have initially. Sprint throws a wrench in the golden triangle of Halo. The series was built on the philosophy that players at all times should be able to shoot, melee, and throw grenades. But in Reach 4 and 5, Sprint got in the way of this freedom to engage in combat. Starting as a classic arena shooter, we all want Halo to maintain its identity. However, we also have to recognize that shooters have evolved since Halo 3 and the landscape is not the same. Sprint is something we just can't get away from. But to address the complaints, 343 has toned down the movement bonus in exchange for giving it more utility with sliding. The move speed bonus is so small, it's entirely viable to not sprint at all. So you get the feeling of moving faster without limiting the player's ability to immediately whip out their gun and start blasting. That's right, there's almost no effect on the time it takes to shoot your gun out of sprint than if you're just walking. Only thing I would change is walking not appearing on radar. It makes it too easy to sneak around and hide. But at the same time, I do kind of like that element of surprise whether I'm being defensive or offensive. Regardless, I don't have many major complaints with Infinite, and the ones I do have are stuff that can easily be tweaked, nerfed, or whatever. I think the main selling point of this tech preview, was to let Halo fans get a taste of the mechanics, and I love them. Oh my god, dude. What? That little clamber I did? Oh my god, to juke him out. Holy shit, dude, this game has amazing mechanics. Actually, that was fucking sick. Clamber is kind of cool too. Nothing sticks out to me as a red flag. And the stuff I was concerned about, I now feel relieved. It's clear that 343 has spent an excruciating amount of time to do the impossible. Please both new and old fans of Halo. The bottom line, they're doing a kick-ass job. We also got a taste of the map design, and a lot of people are kind of torn on this. Bazaar, Recharge, and Livefire play well, they just aren't the most interesting. It's not like there's some terrible exploit or you can't get creative, but matches on Bazaar can get kind of stagnant, mostly because trying to advance will instantly put you on the lower ground, which isn't ideal. I got no patience for that, so I just run straight in anyways. I was a bit too focused on shooting and having fun to really scope out the levels, but I think what the maps are missing is interaction. Every single Halo map from the first 3 titles especially had some kind of interaction with the environment itself. Find me a level in Combat Evolved that doesn't have a teleporter. The answer is Hang'em High, Prisoner, and Timberland. The other 16 maps all have teleporters. You know, classic Halo maps were very bold because they were so weird. Look at Chiron TL34. Confusing name, confusing layout. This map has 28 teleporters. And I love it. What the fuck is this layout? It's a mishmash of chaos. I'm not saying every map should turn into boarding action, but these maps definitely give me Halo 5 vibes in the sense that they're very safe, right? But you really do need that interaction to make playing these levels feel like Halo. The grav lifts on Narrows and Guardian, fusion coils, explosives, movable crates. I want to see more of that stuff. And with the direction the story's going in, you got no shortage of locations you could use. We're on a brand new Halo ring, baby. I want to see something on a brute ship, more Covenant Banished themed maps. But you know me well, and I appreciate a great user interface. Infinite is pretty good in this regard. I will say horizontal layouts aren't my thing, but hey, it's not bad. It might be worth it for 343 to try out a vertical display of the user interface and just see how it goes. Gotta love the poses at the end, which are hilarious, dude. So polite and respectful. Also, I love the intros at the start of each match. It's the perfect mix between cool and cheesy. It's really cool that you can check out the vehicles and weapons, and when you do, your Spartan is just sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pwn some noobs with this thing. When customizing your Spartan, the icons in the bottom change depending on what armor pieces and what core you have. This is a really great detail. It makes it clear and concise to see what'll change in your Spartan. Certainly a step up from Halo 5. And did I mention, we literally have Reach armor customization back. That's what we've been waiting for. It's what we wanted all along. You got all the same slots, including gloves and prosthetics. Everything looks fire as hell. And once again, this settles another arduous debate on how armor customizations should work, how you should unlock it, what the art style should look like, and it's like we can all just be happy and excited about this now. While waiting for a match, I did notice this Fire Team 1 out of 28. If we can host 28 player custom lobbies, that's gonna be fire, bro. Not to mention the vast number of settings and options you have to tweak performance, field of view, controls, sensitivity. This is the most robust amount of settings we've ever had in a Halo game, and it's only going to make Infinite more accessible to players of all levels. This game is littered with fan service, like the Needler melee being a throwback to CE. Oh, there it is! Oh my god! The main Halo theme appearing at the main menu, something that hasn't happened since Combat Evolved? That's how you get me hyped, dude. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I will say there was a bit too much chatter between the AI, announcer, and Spartans.
Oh, so satisfying.
What are these voices? Are these the AI?
Pulse carbine is up.
Are all these different announcers like the AI? I'm hearing like 3 different announcers kinda. They got like Captain Texas. The skewer's up! Made it hard to go 15 seconds without someone yelling out, over yonder, did some damage. The goddamn skewer's up.
Drop wall is up.
The drop wall is up!
Did some damage.
Did some damage! But again, you can just turn that off. I think that pretty much covers all the important stuff for now. In conclusion, Halo Infinite was the most fun I've had playing Halo in a long time. The failures and missteps of previous games are being fixed and addressed. I genuinely feel like all the stuff Halo fans have wanted, we are getting, and it's glorious. I could give a shit about how sexy the reload animations are. What matters is the gameplay. Infinite is taking radical steps to cater to fans of both new and old Halo styles, and I couldn't be happier with the results so far. Rest assured, I look forward to the next tech preview, and I can't wait to make more Halo videos. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on Halo Infinite thus far? Put your best and worst aspects of it down in the comments below. Do you think they fixed Sprint? What about the sandbox? Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace!
Listen up, Spartans. It's Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief Sierra 117. Subscribe to the Act Man for awesome content and finish the fight. Master Chief, out.